see what I did in this kitchen today. Oh man. Performance Squad, it's Coach Riley here with Riley Performance, and we are back with another video. Now today we're going to be doing another meal prep. Today we're going to be making a ground beef stir fry. And the reason why I want to make this meal is because we're continuing our active lifestyle, continuing on our nutritious meal plan. So I want to do a breakdown on how to make a nutritious ground beef stir fry. Let's get to it. All right, so first here, we're gonna have our ground beef on our wooden cutting board here. And what you wanna do, you wanna make sure that you have your food gloves on because we are gonna be touching the meat here. So the ground beef is already softened. We've let it sit out for a while. So now we're just gonna go ahead and just mix it together with our hands, kind of just break it up a little bit. And you really wanna get in here and just mash it in. Make sure everything is getting mixed in here. So we really wanna ground that beef up. All right, so now that our ground beef is mixed in, we're gonna add in our first dry rub ingredient here. It is our basil. You guys can find this at your local grocery store. It's very inexpensive. So we're gonna go ahead and just sprinkle this in, making sure we add this all around the beef here. All right, and next, we're gonna be adding our garlic and herb, again, local grocery store. We're gonna add a little bit of this because garlic goes a long way when you add a little bit. So we're gonna give it a little shake here. That's about it right there. And then our last ingredient, we are gonna be adding onion and herb. And again, the same thing with the garlic, it goes a long way, so just a little bit will do. All right, and now we're gonna give that another mix. All right, so next here, we're gonna go ahead and add the olive oil to our iron skillet here. And the reason why iron skillet is preferable because it cooks the meat real good and it cooks it a lot faster than doing just a regular traditional skillet. So I have the heat on 2 here just to start off. You don't want it too hot because you don't want anything to burn. And we're just gonna go ahead and add in a cap full, maybe 2 capfuls actually, of olive oil here. So 1 and 2. All right, and next we're gonna add in our meat. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna be adding the ground beef to the skillet here. And instead of dumping the entire thing into the skillet, I have this spoon right here. We're just gonna gradually add it to the burner here. So I'm gonna grab a nice little handful here and gonna add it in just like that. And you want to have a nice mixing spoon. You just want to spread this around here just so we can fit everything in here. And you just want to repeat that process. All right, so now that we've added the ground beef to the skillet here, you want to go ahead and add your burner to 4.5, about medium heat now that the meat is added. And we're gonna go ahead and add in half cup of onions. So we're just gonna go ahead and pour that in just like that. Make sure we got all that in there. And next here, we're gonna be adding 1 cup of this beef broth here. So go ahead and add 1 cup. All right, here's our cup. And we're just gonna pour this in just like so. You wanna make it even around your skillet here. Just like that. All right, so now we've turned our heat up to 6, and we're now gonna just start to brown the ground beef here. And you wanna make sure you're continuously stirring here. We've got our beef broth in here. We've got our chopped onions. We've got our seasoning. So now we're just gonna go ahead and stir this up until it gets brown. And I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, so as you guys can see, we are continuing to stir it here. It is starting to brown, but we are not done yet. You want to keep on stirring. You want to get all that redness out. You want to make sure this thing is nicely cooked, nice and firm here, because we did add the broth juice. So you want to make sure you are continuously stirring, making sure that we are getting all of the pink out of the meat, and we want to make sure everything looks brown. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and prepare our second items that are gonna go into this. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna turn this heat down to about 3, and I'm gonna move it off of the burner, and I'm gonna let that sit for just a little bit, and I'll show you guys our next ingredients that are gonna go in. All right, so now that our ground beef has been cooking for a minute here, we're gonna add in the rest of the ingredients. So right now I have my separate skillet here, and I've already turned the burner on to about 4. And again, we're gonna be adding in 2 capfuls of olive oil here. So we're gonna go ahead and add that in. That's 1 and 2. And next, our ingredients here, I have them listed out. This is gonna be our Southwest rice here. It has black beans in it and pieces of corn. Our next one is just gonna be a basic brown rice and quinoa. We have the other half of our onion here, our chopped onion. And then in this bowl here, we have our chopped diced tomatoes. So we're gonna add in the rice here. And you wanna make sure you get up all these clumps out, because we wanna make sure everything is smooth when we add it to the bowl here. So here, we're gonna add that to the bowl. Grab our spoon here and just add it in just like that. All right, and here we have our brown rice and quinoa. We're gonna add that to the bowl. Make sure we get these clumps out here. Just like that. And we have our diced onions here. We're gonna go ahead and add that in, just like so. And lastly here, we have our diced tomatoes. Add all that in. All right, so now that we put all the ingredients in, we're gonna go ahead and just stir this up as such. And again, you wanna make sure you get all of the clumps out of the brown rice here, because it can get bunched together. So we're just gonna continue to stir this up here. And just like the ground beef, we're gonna go ahead and add in our seasoning here. We have the onion and herb. Just gonna sprinkle a little bit on here. Put that to the side. Our next one is gonna be our garlic and herb. Again, just a little bit here. That to the side. And then our last one, we're gonna be adding basil. So just throw that in. All right, and we're just gonna continue to stir. All right, so we've taken the brown rice, stir fry, sauteed onion off of the burner, and we've put the ground beef back on the burner. We're gonna go ahead and add the heat to about 3 for now. And now we're gonna go ahead and gradually add the other ingredients to our ground beef. So we're gonna mix this in just like that. Just add in just a little bit for right now. And we're gonna give that a stir. add in the rest here. All right, so now that everything is mixed in, we're gonna go ahead and turn up the heat to about 6, and we're gonna continuously stir, just as such here, making sure we're getting all those ingredients in there. Stir it up. All right, so now as our last ingredient, we're gonna add in some soy sauce here. We're gonna add in a 1/2 cup just for now, and if we need more, we'll add more later. So we've got our 1/2 cup here. We're gonna pour that in. And we're just gonna pour that over the top of the sauce here. And you want to go ahead and mix that into your stir fry and just continuously stir. All right, so as you guys can see, we are just about done here. Everything looking nice and brown. We've added our sauces, we've added our herbs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this heat off, and I'm gonna leave it on the burner so it can get the remaining heat. And we're just gonna do some final stirring here, and I'll show you guys what the final product looks like. All right, y'all, it's the best part. Let's go ahead and give it a try. See what I did in this kitchen today. Oh man. Oh man. Hey, I make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Got me a bowl to finish.